check in now with Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan. And Tim, a lot of people wondering about events, but also wondering how bad is the next high tide going to be?
All right, those questions are frequent and I understand them. So let's talk about the headlines, the big three, and then we'll break it down and hopefully answer some of your questions. So what about wind? Still some gusts to near 40, but nothing like the winds we had. So if you need to be driving and your main concern tonight is the wind, that's not too bad. But on some of the higher bridges, just make sure you keep a firm grip on the wheel. Okay, so what about the flooding? For 99% of us, the next high tide, and of course it's going to vary depending on where you are, but for 99% of us, the next high tide will not be as bad. Waters are still going to be high. They will return. In some areas, it'll come back through the drains and back up through some roads. But overall, for most of us, the tidal waters will not be as bad with the high tide tonight. And then tomorrow, there'll even be a further drop. But again, that's from the damaging levels that we had for many of us just a few hours ago. As far as the weather itself, we could have one more round of showers, blustery weather, unsettled weather tomorrow, and within it, there could be some isolated severe storms. So again, tomorrow between 4 a.m. to 4 p.m., some storms will return. Nothing like what we had. Just want to let you know that as conditions improve, it's not like that trend will continue, and here's why. So here's what's left of Nicole by about this time. That is overnight tonight. So this is 3 o'clock in the morning. By this point, it's a tropical depression. So the winds aren't nearly as strong. This is the band of storms we had that's just now lifting north of Green Cove or of Glenn County. By 3 a.m., it's going to be up through about Charleston and Myrtle Beach. That's lifting to the north, so that's going to head away. That's the big band that impacted us most significantly from this morning through the afternoon, depending on where you were. But I want to follow this. So this is now only a tropical depression, but watch now as it heads north and northeast, there will be a band of showers early in the morning and maybe a few severe thunderstorms as it goes on by. Again, nothing like today, all right? But just want to let you know we're not going to be in the clear completely until about sunset Friday, and then we will clear out. For those of you that just want some cooler, drier weather, that is lower relative humidity levels, see this front here? That front is on the way by Sunday. Saturday actually doesn't look too bad either. So there's a look at the weather map. Looking at this primarily as good news. There will be some showers. It'll be windy, but notice a couple things. The winds out of the southeast becoming southwesterly. That's from the southwest. That's the opposite of that giant nor'easter we had. So that will continue to help lower the waters. So again, for those of you that really could care less about the surf in the ocean, remember, we just saw why what happens in the ocean can be a big deal for all of us, even if you're just on a tiny creek connected to a river that's eventually connected to the St. John's that eventually is connected to the ocean. For most of us, we are connected to the ocean. So this is good news. That's going to help further lower those waters. Seas at times, especially east of Daytona Beach, we saw them hit 33 feet. Tomorrow morning we'll probably start at 15, dropping down to 7. And by the way, there is a pro women's surf contest this weekend. It'll be dropping tomorrow. There'll probably be some debris in the water. They're actually hoping to have some surf for the contest this weekend. For the tides in particular, and I'd love to put everybody's tides out there, trying to hit the major areas. Notice Jacksonville Beach tonight. Out about 9:30, downtown pretty much covers the urban core from those of you connected to creeks off of Trout River all the way down through Pottsburg Creek, Arlington River on the other side of the river, Ortega, Cedar River, and then as we get down toward Doctors Inlet, then we have that covered for you with Buckman, and then going all the way down. When I say down, I mean south to the Shands Bridge. And then the next high tide on Friday morning, although above normal, will continue to drop. Here's another way to look at it. The water levels, if we just talk about the flat sea level, they rose about 3 to 5 feet above normal. With this evening's high tide, they'll be at about 2 to 4, and they'll drop about a foot with each high tide cycle. And remember, we have 2 of them every single day. Here's how Duval looks, again, through the night tonight. And here's another look at the picture. There is Nicole. Strong thunderstorms here offshore, but we've already had the shift. Remember this morning, those strong thunderstorms where our southeast came our way, these are headed towards Savannah and Hilton Head. Those are not headed our way. If we get any additional thunderstorms tomorrow morning, it's going to come at us from the Gulf of Mexico. We'll be watching that very close overnight tonight and then during the day tomorrow. Here's a few other areas. The tornado threat just about ending for those of you in Glenn County. It has ended for those of you in Nassau and Camden County. Black Creek, we're talking about the north and South Fork, it's going to be fine. Black Creek, though, still high where it hits the St. Johns River down there farther off toward the south. Tornado threat, Columbia County, very low. Again, might have something early in the morning. And then finally, we have Ware, Charlton, Brantley, and Pierce County. Your tornado threat just about ready to end tonight. May briefly have it tomorrow. There we go for Friday, and then on to Saturday. A nice cleanup day.